Significant concerns have been raised about the lack of transparency in meetings held by Acting Secretary David Bernhardt. On February 28, 2019, Mr. Bernhardt sent a letter to Natural Resources Committee Chairman Aral Jahava, and this is what he said, and I quote, "I have inquired with the Department of Interior's Office of the Solicitor and have been advised that I have no legal obligation to personally maintain a calendar. Further, no agency guidance exists recommending that I create or retain one. I have not personally maintained a calendar for years, and I have no intention of suddenly doing so now." Did you hear me? End of quote. Is this true? Does the Acting Secretary Bernhardt not keep a calendar of his meetings and activities?
I was not involved in providing legal advice around this issue, but I am aware that the Secretary Bernhardt's calendars, there are calendars that we proactively post on our website, just as we did with Secretary Zinke's calendars, because the public is interested in that information, and we've received more than 3 FOIA requests for that material, so we proactively post it on the website.
Well, Acting Secretary Bernhardt also wrote, and I quote, "Numerous people create calendar entries on what can be labeled my calendar to maintain a schedule for the organization of daily appointments, both personal and official." End of quote. How are appointments added to the Secretary's schedule? Do you know?
I am speculating. I think it's probably pretty accurate. I assume that his administrative assistant and other support staff provide that function for him.
So who at the department has the ability to add appointments to the schedule of the Acting Secretary? Do you know?
I'm sorry. There was movement in the back, and I didn't clearly hear what you said.
Who at the department has the ability to add appointments to the schedule to the Acting Secretary?
I'm familiar with a process of.
You don't know?
I don't know. Thank you, sir.
Is the calendar for the Acting Secretary, if a calendar for the Acting Secretary that gets deleted at the end of each day, do you know that?
I don't know that.
Is it possible this is happening and you do not know about it? That is the deletion of the calendar or the entries.
I have some familiarity with the issue that you're raising, and understand that the solicitor's office in the department is working with the records officer in the department to determine what's occurred there and whether it's consistent.
Now, how long have you been in the position you're in?
I'm sorry, say that.
How long have you been in the position you're in?
For 2 months, sir.
Okay. Has any Interior employee ever been tasked with recreating the calendar of the Acting Secretary by piecing together drafts of Google documents or using other records of meetings?
Not to my knowledge.
Has any Interior employee ever been told to stop recreating the calendar of the Acting Secretary?
Again, not to my knowledge.
How do you respond to FOIA requests for information about meetings attended by Acting Secretary Bernhardt?
Precisely the way we do to all FOIA requests. They're processed as a general matter on a first-in, first-out basis. And the one distinction is with calendars that there's been so much public interest in those materials for our senior officials that many are posted, affirmatively posted on our website.
So whose records do you search to respond to requests about Acting Secretary's calendar?
I'm sorry, again, I didn't hear.
Whose records do you search to respond to request about the acting secretary's calendar?
Again, I don't specifically know the answer because I haven't performed that task, but I assume that it is his electronic calendar entries that are prepared by his administrative staff.
All right. CNN reported last week that the calendars posted on the website of the Department of Interior are missing information. For example, a meeting on the schedule posted for Acting Secretary Bernhardt for September 22nd, 2017 includes an entry that says, quote, "A meeting to discuss energy issues," end of quote. It lists no attendees. However, CNN reported that Interior visitor logs show that the acting secretary actually signed in Jack Gerard, then CEO of American Petroleum Institute. Are you aware of any other calendars or calendar entries on the website of the Department of Acting Secretary Bernhardt or any senior official that are missing information?
No, I'm not.
Every senior official, including Acting Secretary Bernhardt, should be making and preserving a transparent record of their meetings and other activities so that the American people know who is influencing policies. I yield now to Mr. McLeod for 5 minutes.